And welcome back, everybody, to another episode of our Throwdown, your Throwdown, my Throwdown,
Our
Scales'
throwdown.
Throwdown, Cast's Throwdown, whatever. We bring you an episode tonight that I personally love. I know we've talked about both of these gentlemen in other aspects in the past, but we decided to bring these two gentlemen together. They are iconic and two of some of my favorite action stars, maybe of all time. I am talking of Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone. And we're going to have them battle here, and we are going to pick our favorite actor and basically based off of, the movies that we love them in. So, before we get started, I need one of you fellers to put some time on the clock here for me. Who's going to do it? Cast. All right, I pick you, Cast. I need you to do that so that I can hit my gong.
I've got it ready whenever you're ready. Take that gong and smack it silly.
Oh, I smacked it all right, just for you.
But it didn't sound very silly.
I don't know how to make a gong sound silly. All right, with that gong going off, let's pass it to you, Cast, since you were so silly. Sylvester Stallone versus Arnold Schwarzenegger. Who do you got, and why?
This is really not easy. I've thinking about it, just movie versus movie, and it comes down to this. So Sly has a few series of movies that are great. The Rocky films, with the exception of Rocky 5, are all great in one way or another. Even 5 has its moments. Then he has First Blood and Rambo, that whole series, which again mixed, but has in each of those two series you have fantastic, at least one all-time classic from each. Outside of that, very checkered, spotty work. Arnold, on the other hand, yes, he has Terminator, but I feel like he has more good movies than Sly does. And he had the action route, he had the comedic route, and he blossomed as a comedic actor, whereas Sly, not so much. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna have to go with Sly, even though I think I think Arnold has more individual movies that I might enjoy, but based on Rocky alone, Rocky 2, I would have to go with Sly because Rocky's my favorite movie. Rocky, Jaws, Pee-wee's Big Adventure, they're all way up there. And I think that if he had done nothing else ever, if he just did Rocky 1, I'd still pick Sly based on how much I love that movie. But I mean, again, 2, 3, 4, Balboa, the Creed movies, First Blood, all great stuff. And that's not to take anything away from Arnold. I love Terminator. I love Kindergarten Cop, Twins, a whole bunch of them. But if I have to go with my gut, Sly. You sound a little gassy. Did you eat beans and broccoli before this?
If you knew me, you knew that I don't really like beans, but I do like broccoli. So maybe I did have too much broccoli. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to say anything to that. I'll leave you to your opinion. That's fine. That's fair. But let's go on to somebody else here that's sitting with us on this fine evening. Maybe he has a different spin on a few things. So Scales, let's try to right the ship here. And please tell me, Sylvester Stallone or Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Cass made all my points that I was going to make because I'm picking Arnold. The volume of films is it's just more expansive. Just a more wide range of acting talent in my eyes. Not that I don't like Stallone. I mean, he's good. Obviously, Rocky and the Rocky series is classic. But I mean, Arnold just does it for me a little more. Arnold, Kindergarten Cop. You said the comedic route and how he just kind of blossomed after Kindergarten Cop and Twins, which was one of my favorites. And but then he got into during the 90s, there was that stretch of even, kind of slightly corny but good action movies like True Lies. That's one of my favorite action movies. And Last Action Hero, which is kind of like, action, but, for kids in some sense. Another one of my favorite 90s movies. And obviously Terminator and T2. We've talked about those before. So for me, it's Arnold, just because he has that more wide range. And I just look more fondly back upon those 80s and 90s movies that he had.
Thank you.
That's fair.
Thank you. And thank you. Correct. That's a good answer. And obviously, I think you guys know how my deciding vote will go here. I definitely going to blow past this time. But you know what? That's okay. Since I'm hosting, I get to decide that.
You're going with Jet Li.
Nice.
I was actually going to pick Jean-Claude Van Damme, but
make it a triple threat match.
All right, listen. You got.
This is Arnold Schwarzenegger.
All right, versus you got.
My name is Rocky Balboa.
I mean, you got these two guys squaring off here. In one corner, you got Sly. I mean, yes, Rocky is great. Rambo is great. And there's some, that he does definitely go into that genre of some films that Arnold went down where they're great action movies. They're not great movies, but I really enjoy watching them. Cliffhanger, John Lithgow. That's a great flick. There was one, Daylight, where he kind of rescues all these people from the Lincoln Tunnel. Yeah. Over the Top, great arm wrestling. Yeah, like some of these are phenomenal. Absolutely. These are great movies. I still enjoy watching them to this day. And even the more recent Expendables series and franchise where both of these guys, joined forces. And, I know I've talked this to death, but I still have to go Arnold here. I mean, Sly, he definitely has no problem with making fun of himself. And, he's funny in his own regard. But Arnold went down that route, I think, a little bit more. And, just his just overall catalog of films is that much more expansive, and there's just so many more where I can quote line for line, and it's just endless. So there's just way too much to talk about in a short amount of time. So that's the route I'm going.
So here's one other thing, just to bolster my side a little bit, is that Sylvester Stallone is a multi-talented performer too. Like in the right role, he's a great actor. Like a lot of times he comes off, average. Like it could be better, but he's not Rocky. But when he's in a Rocky movie, you buy him hook, line, and sinker as Rocky. But you have to remember too, he wrote all those movies and directed most of them. So he's not just an actor. So there's additional talents there that Arnold doesn't necessarily have.
You got a big mouth. You just talk too much.
I got what you might call a relaxed brain, but I'm not punchy, But yeah, not taking anything away from Arnold. I mean, Predator, that's another great one. That's probably my favorite.
Too many to name.
Yeah. So if you don't have another thing lined up, I want to ask you both, but especially you as a personal trainer, whose physique at their peak would you rather have? Or whose physique would you say is better? And then what would you rather have practical day to day?
I don't know. You kind of threw me for a loop here. I didn't think we were going to go down this route, even though I should have expected it.
I didn't expect it myself.
I mean, someone maybe more I can relate to, size-wise, probably go more towards Sly. I mean, the conditioning is more in line of what I would be looking for, probably. And not to take anything away from Arnold. I mean, the freaking guy was Mr. Universe. But, I'd probably have to go Sly in that regard, just based on, his overall conditioning, what he was training for, and, what would be more in line of what I'd be looking for. And to this day we can even talk about who took more steroids or who is still taking more steroids, or we could go that way too. But what would you guys pick? Now I'm curious. If you had to pick if you had to pick one of the two physiques at their peak, scales.
Yeah, probably. I'd probably go with you and go with Stallone. I think Arnold is just like he was just so massive. Like, what do you can you even like fit through a doorway? I don't know. It seems like it'd be tough to live being that large. It's just, I mean
there might have been a time where he would have trouble actually wiping his butt.
Yeah, it's just. I mean, it's it looks amazing.
His butt.
But well, yes.
Hey,
a nice hiney there. Yes. How about you, Cast?
This is the gluteus maximus.
It's gonna be so delicious. Oh no, oh Duffy. I hate you.
You said it. Talking about his delicious hiney.
I'd say if I had to choose for myself between the two, that I'd rather have Sly's physique, and also because he's really not big. He's not a big person, and like obviously like movies where he has his shirt off or just no sleeves, he looks like he's ripped. But if he's the kind of guy like if you look at him in Rocky 3, like when he's wearing a suit, he doesn't look big at all. It's like I think it's always cool to have that like surprising physique where you're wearing regular clothes, you look at a regular person, all of a sudden like, oh shit, that guy's jacked. But as far as bodybuilders go, Arnold I think had the best physique of all time because he was still in the classic physique category. It's before they turned into like because they didn't use HGH back then, and the steroids that they used were not what they use now. It's before all the, as they say, the bubble gut or the Ninja Turtle bodybuilders. So
Could I speak to the drug dealer of the house, please?
so good.
I didn't get to. I wanted to mention. I assume our 5 minutes is up.
We're way past that. You know what?
Okay.
For these two fellers,
okay,
we can do this. That's just fine.
Well, Arnold had a little. I don't even want to call it a resurgence. 'Cause I don't know that he ever went away, but he had that little stretch in like, what was it, like 2002 or 3 with End of Days, and then the Sixth Day. They like came out like right around us, and those are like, I love those when those came out. Maybe they're kind of corny, but I still like them. I like. Yeah, go ahead.
He definitely hit a lull starting with I think probably Junior, and Batman and Robin. Like he was good in it, but that movie sucked. Like he had a bunch of clunkers, but then he was also, well, no, it was a little later when he was governor.
Yeah,
right?
he was governor, and then he didn't really do anything. But towards the end there, End of Days was good. Sixth Day, I wasn't a huge fan of. There's some good sound bites from it. And then there was another one that I think it was like the last one he did before he became governor was Collateral Damage or something.
Oh, yeah.
One of that ones. And that one, like,
I don't think I've ever seen that.
That was pretty bad. It came out like right around 9/11 or something, and it was supposed to be about him like fighting terrorists, so that's why they had to delay it or something.
Oh, man. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. But he came back after he was governor and, did a whole other bunch of good films. And I mean, Sly's still out there doing stuff. So they're still chugging along. So hopefully they give us another Expendables film. I want one.
Suffice to say that both of their highs are really high and their classics and their clunkers are really bad.
Yeah. The roller coaster career.
Yeah, you can say that.
Rhinestone. Stopping My Mom Will Shoot.
Oh no.
Oh God.
What was there was a 90s movie with Stallone with, it was like Sharon Stone or Kim Basinger where they had like a shower scene. Do you know what that is? You know what I'm talking about? He's like a hitman. I don't remember the name of it.
It vaguely sounds familiar. Yes.
He's like a hitman.
It was Kim Basinger, right?
Yeah, it takes place in like Miami, maybe. I just remember there being like a shower scene. I was like, whoa.
Cobra?
I think it was Cobra. It wasn't Cobra?
Could be. It could be. I'd have to look it up after. I don't remember the name of it.
He eats, it might be a frozen pizza, but he eats a slice of pizza and cuts it with a scissors.
I don't remember that.
That's got to go up on TikTok and Instagram.
Okay, yeah, we'll look for that one.
Clip from that one. All right, I think we've run our course here for this. We could definitely revisit this in some other manner in the future, but I think we served its purpose here today. Guys, fellow listeners, if you are listening, hopefully there's more than a couple of you out there. Please tell us, who's your choice, Arnold or Sly? you heard our choices. Maybe you guys have a different opinion. Maybe you got someone else that we're not talking about right now. Steven Seagal, like I said, Jean-Claude Van Damme, somebody like that. I don't know. Tell us what you think. And please follow us on all forms of our social media on TikTok and Instagram. Listen to us on Spotify and iTunes. Check out for all of our new material. Again, we like doing this for you, and we like doing this for ourselves. And we look forward to our next episode. So until next time, we'd like to say goodbye and toodles. Bye.